Corpus Christians! It's the time of the year once again when Corpus Christi School lights up a Christmas tree and throws couple of parties.
It's a tradition that unfortunately we will skip this school year because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, skip physically only, Teacher Els. Physically. Well, thanks to computer technology, Corpus Christi School can still celebrate Christmas as a community.
But there's no Christmas tree to light, Mel.
Well, nothing can break that tradition, Teacher Els. That's why I prepared my Christmas tree. Look! Ding, there!
Wow, that is so cute!
Well, of course it is cute. Just like the person holding it. Look.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah. And you know what? Though this Christmas tree is very small, I can guarantee you the Corpus Christi Christmas spirit will always be huge, magnanimous, gigantic as ever. Merry Christmas, Corpus Christians!
Merry Christmas, everyone! Because of that, we have a gift for you. A show performed by the teachers.
They will also talk about the bright side of COVID-19 pandemic.
Bright side? That is something I'd like to know.
Well, me too, Teacher Els. I'd like to know that. And aside from that, our teachers will also disclose to us the advantages and disadvantages of online teaching.
And of course, Mel, they are going to share with us the funny moments they had in online teaching.
So Corpus Christians, sit back, relax,
and
enjoy.
As a teacher and as a parent, I can attest to at least one bright side to the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of the stay-at-home advisory from the Department of Health in April, my family had to think of ways to keep boredom away. We decided to have music while doing our household chores. My husband installed a basketball hoop over our trash can so that our children can have fun gathering trash to deposit, like playing basketball. Since we cannot go shopping frequently, we have planted all the vegetables that we need. We live far from the city, so we are thinking of raising chickens. When there is a birthday or a special occasion, we bake a cake together. But you know what? Our family savings are increasing as never before. Best of all, the family bond has gotten stronger. We are blessed in this terrible time. Salamat, Lord.
As a teacher and a parent, I am finally living simply and economically as ecologists want us all to live, thanks to COVID-19 pandemic. Since it's not safe to leave the house unnecessarily, I am very strict about economizing so shopping would be minimized. Before the pandemic, a bottle of shampoo got consumed in a few days. Today, it lasts for weeks because I have imposed a rule. Shampoo every other day and use the syringe to measure the shampoo up to this point only. As for plastic bags, we wash the plastic bags of bread and reuse them to wrap food. We have special box for toilet paper, plastic wrappers. We no longer use glass cleaner. We use old paper bags moistened with water to clean glass fixtures. I have so many money-saving and planet-saving tips that I am thinking of writing a book. An ebook, I guess. Or maybe I'll sell my book through Amazon. It will surely become a bestseller because all of you will buy a copy by salary deduction.
For the first time in history, teaching has gone online. Many say that my generation is the guinea pig of this experiment. I would rather say that my generation is proud to prove that education need not stop when the world is stopped by a crisis. I would like to say to the generation that distrusts computer technology, shake hands with it. ICT is our friend.
People laugh when I say there is a bright side to the COVID 19 pandemic. Well, there is. Before the pandemic, my computer literacy coasted only on encoding and printing. Would you believe I did not even know how to Google? So, when the school administration announced that teaching was going to be online, I tendered my resignation. No resignation accepted. The principal said, I begged, I cried, but Teacher Marla said, I am confident that you'll be as techy as the millennials. I was so touched by Teacher Marla's optimism that I transformed myself from a person who resisted computer technology to one who made friends with it. When I made it known that I needed help, all my techie co-teachers ran to my side. Wow, they taught me that filter meant. I did not even know the meaning of up. The young teachers used a barbecue stick to point out where the PowerPoint was on my hot laptop and what all the icons stood for. They treated me to barbecue when I was able to do a video call on my smartphone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was a computer idiot. But not anymore. I can now do everything on the magic machine called computer. To me, my status as a qualified distance learning educator is a bright side to the COVID 19 pandemic. But there's another brighter side. This terrible disease is bringing the best out of many people. I would like to thank all the people who helped me bring out the best in me. I love you.
I love teaching high school. I also love computers. They call me the techie guy in school because when I'm not in my classes, I usually have a gadget at arm's length. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, my fellow teachers would criticize me for being a little too into technology. Some would tell me I was just withdrawn. Some would tell me I was just the intellectual, nerdy type. Some would say I was a genius. Maybe that's why my students are so bright. Actually, I just love being alone. And so, when COVID-19 came and we all had to switch to home-based online learning, I didn't mind so much because, well, I loved being alone. But then, my fellow teachers had a tough time navigating through the learning management system, and started to ask for my help. My principal requested me to assist them. I was actually surprised that I didn't mind leaving my cocoon to reach out to my colleagues. Maybe it was because I was just so happy to teach them and help them with something I was so passionate about, computers. And a lot of them were actually surprised that this nerd actually opened up to them and listened to them attentively. You know, I couldn't do it before. Now I could laugh and crack jokes. I loosened up. They broke my icy exterior. It's funny. Being truly alone makes you realize that you're not truly alone. But you know what makes me even happier? My fellow teachers who once said that they couldn't use technology now can use it, and they use it quite well. My fellow teachers who once called themselves technologically challenged now navigate online classes. They surf through the web. They even edit videos. It's amazing, and I'm so proud of their growth and adaptation. I think I am changing for the better. We all are. This transformation, I hope this outlasts the COVID-19 pandemic. For all our growth, for all our adaptation, for all our accomplishments for this year, we all deserve a congratulations.
That was great!
Indeed, Teacher Els, that was great! And you know what? There's a lot of Corpus Christi teachers that are completely packed and filled with talents.
I agree with you on that, Sir Mel. In fact, everybody says you are one of them.
Oh wow, that's very heartwarming to hear and very delightful in my heart. Thank you very much, Teacher Els. Well, you too is very talented, I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank you for that also. Now, in that case, let's proceed to the next part of the program, the advantages and disadvantages of online teaching. For you, Sir Mel, what advantage did you find in the online teaching?
Let me think. Here's one. One advantage I like about online teaching is basically the applications that we use. You know, with one click, you can be anything you want. One instance in my class, I became a potato, then shifted to become a French fries. Well, the giggle I hear from my kids is very heartwarming. It's like teaching is playing, and we get paid for that.
That is so nice. For me, maybe one of the advantages that I found in online teaching is that I don't have to wake up early in the morning and travel from downtown to uptown.
I can relate to that, Teacher Els, completely. And for sure, many of our co-teachers can also relate to that. Well, let us ask our dear teachers about their experiences as well. Teachers, share your stories.
Yep.
Like Teacher Els, I don't have to take a ride. 3 rides to school. Still, I prefer face-to-face teaching. Online teaching is not effective.
Unlike face-to-face teaching, the students are always on time. So we finish the lesson of the day on time.
That happens if there are no internet glitches. I'm always on edge because the internet connection in my area is weak.
My internet connection is okay, but my laptop is not. I think I need to buy a new one. Buy 13 months pay.
See you next meeting. Bye-bye. Hello there. One advantage for me is I don't have to dress up. Uniform on top, pajama below. O diba? Guwapo gihapon?
You think? A student told me she saw you stand and grab something. Your pajamas had polka dots.
To me, the greatest advantage is I was forced to upgrade my computer literacy. I realized that computer technology is indispensable in our world today.
The disadvantage is just when I mastered BBP, Wella switched it to Google Meet as its video conferencing tool. I went berserk. Naglasong yung ko.
The advantage is
The techies among the faculty go out of their way to help those who are stuck in the age of the dinosaurs. I mean, typewriter.
Teacher, what on a Christmas tree is a typewriter? Well, getting that kind of question will always be a disadvantage of online teaching when you are being asked difficult questions. Somehow, it's very difficult to carry a conversation, especially when your connection gets choppy.
Because of that, there's a tendency for the teacher to lecture, even if the lesson plan says, draw out. Draw out mo, girl, yung meaning ng typewriter or whatever.
Many parents say online teaching is tough, especially in the lower grades, for the pupils and for the grown-ups who need to be with the kids.
On the other hand, parents or guardians who were not so techy have become techy.
A parent disclosed that she actually sits in to sharpen her math in a math class. How to compute fractions is important in her online food business.
Alam niyo ba, may isang magulang who's trying cake baking. Umupo sa klase ko when the lesson was about baking. Pero ngayon, naiintindihan niya na how crucial it is to buy an internal oven thermometer. Pakiramdam ko tuloy, isa akong sikat na master chef na napapanood sa telebisyon.
One disadvantage for all of us teachers is we really don't know who's doing our students' performance tasks.
In the first place, you can't make them cook online and you can't taste what they cook online.
Teachers, we must be lenient and kind in giving grades to our performance tasks. Okay?
You know what, Teacher Els? This conversation is getting so serious. I don't like it.
Well, to break the ice, Mel, why don't we talk about the fun things that happened in online teaching?
Sounds nice to me.
One time during seat work, ingon ko sa kong pag-umangkon. Ling, sige na kauna. Una na ay ham. Ang duha ka slice imo, ang isa ako. Sige na. Suddenly, a student asked, Teacher, why only isa lang for you? I forgot, Bandi, to mute my mic.
In one lesson, I talk about the natural, moral, and legal obligations of marriage. A boy wrote in chat, I will never get married. I will just adopt a dog. Another boy answered, It's better to have a child. Whoa. The first boy replied, Okay, but it must be a son. What? Murag kamaot.
In a test, an item went, Name an electrical appliance in the kitchen that makes a lot of noise. A student answered, Ang baba ni mama.
Speaking of nagging, one time I kept nagging in class. You must be responsible pet owners. For example, if you see a cat's poo, it must be properly be managed by its owner. You! You know, a transferee from Manila suddenly complained out loud, Teacher, why do you always have to use cats as an example? How about dogs? I was like, okay, Glenn, here's your dog. Oops.
In my case, I find it cute when the children show their pets. Wow! Nice dogs! So cute! Is that a rabbit? Wow! And then, a student said, Teacher, my tito has a pet snake. Big teacher, dili ka kabusog sa one chicken. And I screamed!
In one of my kinder classes, our lesson was about the letter K. So I asked my students to name some things that begins with the letter K. One student said, "How about kite, teacher? Very good. You are right. How about kettle? Good job. That's right. Teacher, kitten. Wonderful. You are correct." But suddenly, a boy in my class shouted and said, "Teacher, kapoy. Kapoy, teacher. Kapoy." Uh-oh. Oops.
One time, I noticed there was no movement on the face of a child. I realized the child was not there. He placed a picture of himself on his webcam. My God, this pandemic is making our students very wise.
The students are techier than me. I still have a problem changing my background.
They do love changing their backgrounds. And I get so irritated. I have this one particular student who punctuates my words with his background. Mura bagay mo unyag visual aid. When I say words like plant life, it turns into a forest. When I say indoor living, mahimong living room.
You should not get irritated. You should give him bonus points in PT.
Speaking of PT, I reminded the student, "Grant, you have not submitted your frame." He answered, "Teacher, I made it already." But gilabay sa among helper. But why? Kay abi niyag basura.
Well, Teacher L, time's up!
It was so fun. Now it's time for us to move on to our closing number.
Wait a minute, hold on. I would just like to share to you the greatest disadvantage of online communication in this time of COVID-19 pandemic.
And what is it?
Well, when somebody dies, you can't hug the bereaved family online, as, attending funeral is not even safe. This is a terrible time, Teacher Els. Very terrible.
Mel, it is. Many of us weren't there when our founding father left this world. Online condolences were insufficient. But, Sir Del Fiero, he's a light of heart and full of laughter, just like you. Surely, he wants us to laugh.
Yeah, I think so. Well, okay, sir. It's Christmas.
And speaking of Christmas, Sir Mel, what makes you happy in this season?
What makes me happy? Well, aside from spraying some alcohol, Teacher L, I also like add to cart now. Online shopping. Add to cart here, add to cart there, and, Shopee, Shopee, hey! Yeah, very cleansing to my soul. How about you, Teacher Els?
Well, I feel happy when I'm surrounded with my family.
Very nice. Well, that's right, Teacher Els. Now, Corpus Christian, we have our last gift for you. The Corpus Christi School Faculty Virtual Choir with its rendition of Tuloy ang Pasko.